So this video is one of the most requested ever on this channel. You guys have been begging at the altar of GearUP, which is the right thing to do, by the way, and some of you even offered up your pet virgin squirrels as sacrifice to hasten the process. Well, that's really sweet and all. We're gonna do it anyway, with or without them, because I love you guys. Now, this is the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2. We're gonna be looking at this today. This is an ANC-enabled earbud that supposedly puts sound first, and it stands as a competitor to high-end offerings from Sony, Bulge, and Jabra, among others. And people have been raving on and on about it since it came out in April or March or whenever it was, how good it is. Like, the sound is amazing, the ANC is effective, and it looks good to boot. Now, what do I think of it personally? We're gonna have to find out after these messages, but TLDR, the sum of its parts make it good, just not great, unless they do something about that price. Let's do it! Alright guys, so here is the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, and as usual we're going to look at some high-level specs first before we take a deeper dive of the case and the earbuds themselves. Now, in terms of price, I've seen this range from $270 USD all the way up to $300 with a 2-year warranty. I know, that's a little bit on the high side, and my hopes is with Black Friday and Christmas coming up, the price would drop a little bit, so that would be nice. It weighs 70 grams combined, and when you compare this to the very similar Technics AZ70 that we looked at about a month ago or so ago, which was really one of my biggest surprises of the year, that thing weighs 74 grams, so these guys are really close and head-to-head in that sense. Battery life, the earbuds muster about 7 hours according to the factory before giving up the ghost, supposedly. But in actuality, I got around 6 hours and a quarter to 6.5 hours at medium volume and the phone within about 15 feet of the earbuds. The case, though, adds another 21 hours of listening time. Now, the earbuds themselves have IPX4 water resistance rating, so sweat, rain, and splashes are fine, but just stay away from submersion and showers. These earbuds also support Bluetooth 5.1 and aptX, AAC, and SBC codecs as well. Now, on the other hand, some features that are surprisingly not included is the ability to independently use the earbuds. Only the right side can be used right now, and wireless charging is just not available. That's really sad at this price range. So here is the charging case, guys, and yes, that's real fabric on the exterior. It looks good, it feels good, it offers a lot of grip, and on a cold day like this, it's always nice to pull something warm out of your pocket. No, that's not what I meant. Get your dirty mind out of the gutter. I meant this one. And other thing is, I think it's going to be really hard to clean when it comes to permanent stains like grease and grime and jean stains especially. And also because this is kind of thin, I can see this wearing bare to the plastics over time. So just bear that in mind. Now, the plastics that they use, it's matte plastic most of the way. There's shiny plastics around the lip here, which is really nice to see. I really like the grade of plastics both on the inside and on the bottom here really well. But a couple of knocks is, listen to this. It's hollow, and also when you look at it from the side, the lip sits a little bit higher right here as opposed to the back, so when you squeeze it, you can see it go up and down. I was expecting a little bit more density and quality for $300, and from Sennheiser, I was expecting a little bit more than that. But anyways, overall, the build is decent. The hinge is, I think it's between weak and strong. I can shake it, and it doesn't flop over like the really cheap ones. But also it stays in there quite a bit. The lip is magnetic, so that's nice. The cavity is nice and easy to clean right there, nice and smooth, nice molding. And over in the back is something that feels kind of disjointed a little bit. Here is the battery level light right there, USB-C charging port, and a battery checker button. I'm not sure why that exists because most of the other makers, when you pop this open, the light comes on. When you close it, the light comes on. But this one, you have to manually press it. And you can see it right there. It's orange because it's medium level. There's no wireless charging as I mentioned earlier, so that's a really big bummer for this price range. So anyways, let's pop the earbuds back in and do the shake test. And they stay in pretty well. As you can see, the magnets are really nice and strong. The charging contacts are right there. There's 4 of them, and the magnets are left and right there that matches the earbuds. Anyways, let's move on to the earbuds. Every time I look at these Momentum 2 guys, I can't help but think of the Technics AZ70, this one right up here. They're so similar in shape and design, kind of like this R2 unit that houses everything vertically, like the battery and the chipset as well as the drivers, all in this vertical body. So bear this in mind if you care about something that protrudes out of your ear. Like in my case, it sits about 2 to 3 millimeters outside of my earlobe. So if you care about that, this is something you need to bear in mind. At least it's not like Sony's WH-1000 XM3s where they sit outside outside of your ear completely almost. So it's still nice and discreet, and it sits really well in your ear even during workout. It's very, very secure. In terms of build quality, this thing is spot on. The plastics are very good quality. It's matte and it's slightly grippy, very similar in quality to the case itself. There's only one seam down here, the bottom quadrant, and in this color I can see this over time where dirt will just gather there, so you need to clean it from time to time. But otherwise, this thing is really well put together. The way to control these earbuds is with this touchpad right here, guys, and it allows for single, double, triple tap as well as hold. It's fully customizable and you can do this in the app, and I'll show you this in a second. In terms of sensitivity though, this thing is more like a hit or miss, which is really why I don't like touch controls in the first place. But anyways, bear that in mind. On the flip side here, you see behind this window the proximity sensor. This thing is really good. It's really hard to trip it up. The only place that I noticed that it doesn't work is on actively playing embedded videos, like on news sites or social media feeds. But there is one cool feature about that too, is it can wake up your sleeping buds. So when you have this resting on a table, for example, and that's the cool thing about having this flat, is when you have this resting on a table, it goes to sleep after 1 minute. If you wave your hand over the sensor, or if you put this against your ear, it wakes the earbuds back on, which is really nice. There's only one mic that handles phone calls per earbud, which is right there. And on the right side, only the right side, there is the active noise cancellation microphone right there as well. And in the business end of things, there's a 7mm driver with its own equalizer pushing sound through this really short and stubby sound channel, as you can see right there. And the ear tips are really easy to pop on and off, just like that, and they're done. Maybe I should do a test from now on to see how fast these guys go on and off. But anyways, taking it off, putting it back on is just like that, done. And there's 4 different ear tips included in the box, by the way. Now, if I pull this off and we look at this sound channel, a sound port, if you look in there, I'm not sure if you can see this, there's a piece of foam in there. And I've seen better quality foam included in, say, even Soundcore products that are a fraction of this cost. This looks like an afterthought, like I can pull this out with a tweezer or something if I wanted to. So for $300, I wish this was, you know, like had some better quality foam in there for what it's worth. So guys, if you haven't heard already, I am trying to get to 5,000 subs, and only you can get me there. If you haven't already, then please consider subscribing down below and turning on the bell notification icon. So thank you in advance for your help, and get me to 5,000. Back to the program. Alright guys, we're outside again doing the Bluetooth distance test. This time I have Tom Jones playing. It's not unusual, don't judge. It sounds amazing on these Momentum 2s. It's officially fall, it's cold, but it's sunny too, so pardon the exposure issues like right there. This thing, the Momentum 2s have Bluetooth 5.1. Woo, that's bright. Bluetooth 5.1, so it should be right around 30 feet, 33 feet before it starts getting cut out. So the phone is right at the end of my deck there, and where I'm standing is around 25 feet. So still going strong. I'm gonna walk around the corner, past line of sight. We're around 30 feet. And I'm already starting to get some breakup. So it's performing as it should. Let me walk out of the sun here real quick. And I'm gonna keep walking until it just completely cuts off. And right here, it's dead. It's around 38 feet, 39 feet. So, you know, I just got it cut off. Let me see if it reconnects once I'm back in range. Yes, it does, and the media continues playing. So that's a good thing. And by the way, you can also see how these guys fit in my ears. Like I mentioned earlier, these guys protrude a little bit, about a couple of millimeters outside of my earlobe. So it's not bad. It's a little bit better than the Technics AZ70, but they're really close in terms of profile and such. You can tell whether you like this or not just by looking at this, hopefully. There you go. That's bright sun again. Anyways, let's move on to the mic test for phone calls. Well guys, it seems like we chose the perfect time to be out here to be testing the microphone for phone calls, because not only is it windy, but we're getting a decent amount of traffic on the main street right here. I think it's the lunch crowd. So, but I'm not going to walk all the way to the end like I normally do, because the sun out there right now is midday. It's just going to ruin the exposure. But anyways, these Momentum 2s only have one single mic on the right earpiece, so it does all the work. Here comes some traffic. How does that sound? When I tested this earlier, I wasn't impressed at all with noise suppression, because when noise is introduced, the sound quality just goes south. And by the way, when phone calls kick in, if you're on noise cancellation, The pass-through mode turns on for safety reasons, and I totally agree with that decision. So, what do you think of the sound quality? I'm switching back and forth again, like I normally do, between the camera and the earbuds. I'm not a fan of this outside. Indoors, quiet environments, I'm okay with the phone call quality. But once outside or in a noisy environment, your listeners, the person on the other side of the phone, is just gonna suffer and complain all the way. So this is Sennheiser's companion app called Smart Control, guys, and I think this app is pretty good. There are some areas where it can improve, and I'll point that out in a second, but overall, everything is where they should be, and it looks good and easy to navigate for the most part. So this is the home screen. We're already connected to the Momentum 2s, and here's the battery level on the bottom left here. It doesn't show the battery level for the case, unfortunately, which is kind of a downer for this price range. And at the bottom here, a couple of so-called quick widget controls where you can, in this case, turn on and off your transparent or pass-through mode, as well as play with the equalizer. I wish these two were customizable. Anyways, let's look at the equalizer right now, which is currently set to neutral. And on this screen, you astute viewers can probably see the problem right here. There's only 3 bands for customization, which is bass, mids, and highs, which is really kind of ridiculous at this point, and price point as well. Because Sennheiser markets this as sound first, I'm surprised to see this. There's a graphic equalizer that does the same thing. You just drag this little icon around and it shifts things around. And also, by the way, guys, this does not come with any presets. It's just this one and you have to make your own, which is really crazy. There's no like classical or vocal or rock or anything like that. You just have to make your own. Now, back at the home screen, you can access different options by tapping the gear icon at the top right, where you can toggle active noise cancellation on and off. There's no way to adjust the strength of noise cancellation, by the way, at least though you can toggle it on and off. There are a couple more options here for phone calls, which you can play with. And one of the important ones here is under control, which is earbud customization. And here is the screen for customizing all the controls for your earbuds. There's 2 ways to access this. One, which is the way I just showed you. Another one's from the home screen right here, where you can tap on the earbuds themselves and it'll take you to the same screen. So the only controls that are customizable are the media controls, which is this one, but not the phone calls, which is this other screen. So just bear that in mind. I really like this screen though, where everything is really easily customizable and graphical, and you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Here is also where you can disable touch controls completely if you get sick of it. But you know, I just love how customizable these earbuds are. But I wish there's just one improvement, which is the equalizer. Sennheiser, get to work, guys. Now let's talk about some of the positives of the Momentum 2s. It sounds good, it looks good, and it's almost a great all-rounder. In the sound department, I think it's not the best though, and I don't mean to say that the sound sucks, far from it, because for example, when I listen to 3 Days Without You by Otmar Liebert, right there, or Liebert, the echoes of the percussion in the recording room are hauntingly lifelike, and the bass is tight, and still, the lead acoustic guitar never gets drowned out by all that's happening in the room. It's just amazing what these earbuds can do and produce and control. Now, when I listen to it over and over again, the color profile that I have from the earbuds, it feels like it's between warm and technical, which I rather like. And yet, it's missing the final say, I believe, in detail and amplification. That honor goes to the WF-1000XM3s and the AZ70, because they all lie in that same price range. But in terms of detail, when I listen to, say, Indiana Jones theme song, in the beginning part, I'm trying to listen for the strumming of the bass acoustic, that little hum that on good earbuds you can hear it really well. But I was really disappointed not hearing it on the Sennheisers. It was just barely there. So I was hoping for that. And this might be related to it, is the amplification. Say when I set the volume on my phone to mid-level, the volume on the Sennheiser is about a quarter softer than your average earbuds or the average earbuds that I test, which is really surprising and interesting at the same time. Now, in terms of noise cancellation, the profile reminds me of the Momentum 3 over-the-ear headphones, which means low frequencies are blocked out really well, while letting in a little bit of the mids and the highs, so like conversations and chitter-chatter occasionally just pop in. But overall, I like the noise cancellation on this. It's effective. I don't mind traveling with it, except for one caveat, which I'll mention in the negatives. Fit and comfort is another highlight, guys, and again, like the Technics AZ70, these buds belie their tall and gainly shape by being comfortable to wear. I can wear these for like 3 to 4 hours straight, and they also stay in place under a heavy workout in the gym. It's really good. Alright, now we're in negative territory, guys, and there are a few major missteps I want to talk about. First is the lack of Qi charging and also the lack of a proper full customizable equalizer. At this price range, it's just inexcusable that it's not included. Secondly is the ANC. I mentioned this earlier that I like it, but there is one problem. It occasionally produces a buzzing sound when it's exposed to high level frequencies like lawnmowers, leaf blowers, or if you're on a plane taking off and landing. There's this buzz that's just, you can't miss it. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's there. Another thing that I cannot get behind is the price. Be it $270 or $300, I think is just a no-go for me. It's just way too high for what it is. Sennheiser should fire their bean counters already for having delusions of grandeur. And finally, we come to the case. Yes, I have a problem with this thing because while it looks good, it's not very practical. Remember, the earbuds are rated at IPX4, therefore they're activity earbuds, so I don't see the companion case lasting very long. Even if you get the black ones, I see all these guys getting dirty and wearing out really quickly. Remember I mentioned that the fabrics are really thin around the corners? You're just gonna be bearing holes after a while. So it might turn out from you showing this off to your friends, hey, check out my Sennheiser, it's $300 to, hey, check out my, ooh, it's gross. I'm gonna put it back in my pocket where it's gonna just wear more holes in it. So what can I say in closing? Because after reading and watching so many people gush over the Momentum 2s, I came away from this review feeling a little bit underwhelmed, to be honest. My first big obstacle is actually that exorbitant price. If this was $200 or maybe even $220, I wouldn't mind recommending it, but as it is, no, just no. And the other thing is, think about this. If this product was launched in 2019, I would have or could have forgiven this for missing out on some key features like wireless charging, a larger battery capacity in a smaller case, or a full customizable equalizer, things like that. But don't forget, the Sennheisers will launch in March of this year, so they have plenty of time to do their homework and study the competition. But the final product that came out feels kind of half-baked. Regardless though, I would give the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2 a hesitant GearUP score of 7 out of 10. And that's only because of its wonderful sound and packaging, the design and everything. Otherwise, it would have gotten just a 5 from me. So I say you should definitely consider the Momentum 2s if you're looking for a pair of earbuds that sound smooth and tight, have good ANC, have decent battery life, it's built pretty tough to withstand vigorous activities, it looks expensive, it feels expensive, or if you just have tons of money to blow. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you come back next Friday for a new episode. You guys, I just love you guys so much. You're the best audience ever. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing down below to show your support. Just click subscribe and the bell notification icon. And remember to also visit my Patreon page down below where you can, buy me a cup of coffee or tea or something like that. And remember to thumbs up also if you like this video and comment nicely down below. Yes. And thumbs down. Thumbs down to Christmas tree decorations in Halloween or during Halloween. I've been driving up and down my street right here and I've seen 2 houses so far that have already decorated for Christmas, and it's Halloween this weekend. That's kind of lazy, isn't it? And it also gives children a bad idea, a wrong impression of what Halloween is. They should be brought up to believe that, dressing up as a homicidal killer or a frozen princess who's nothing more than a glorified advertisement for an overpriced theme park, that's totally acceptable, not as a Christmas tree or a present. But anyways, thank you so much for being here, guys. Remember to enjoy your Halloween and mask up and do something loving and kind for somebody this weekend because the world needs it more than ever. And you can make a difference, guys. So God bless, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Whoosh.